Hello, guys. I'm back for the final phase of, or the final, what's it called, part 4 of the module titled The God-centered marriage. Okay. In part 3, we considered the parenting phase, and I gave a lot of insights about it, which I'm sure you were so blessed. I believe so. Start children off in the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. Okay, I'll give you an example. So let's just go straight to phase 5. Phase 5 of we've been talking about the 8 phases of marriage. Okay, so and now we're in phase 5. So the stability phase. Okay, so immediately after the parenting phase, you move to phase 5, which is the stability phase. So after years of adjustment, it takes years, guys. After years, we are in our 8th year. We are in 8th year. This year will be 9 years in marriage. So yeah, I think I can speak a little to this marriage thing. After years of adjustments, couples settle into routines and shared goals. So at this point, you have been able to understand each other, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know the areas where this guy will not really change, know the area where this babe will not really change, adjust, adapt, accept. After years of doing that, then you can now start becoming stable. This phase emphasizes mutual respect, shared values, and steady companionship. So you're always there for each other. In the area where this person is weak, you stand in and be strong there for the person, and vice versa, like that. So, and then the scripture for this is, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears her down. You might be wondering that why isn't scripture speaking to the man? I'll tell you. Why is it saying the wise woman? Because the real leader of the home is a woman. A man is essentially a hunter. He's probably mostly outdoor, and even in these days of remote work, he's mostly out there on his computer or laptop. So it is the woman that is consciously and constantly trying to make the home work. Sometimes, when I see how my wife tries to manage the home in terms of our child, in terms of the home front, the food, the this, the that, trying to make sure that we don't lack anything, and that everything is prim and proper in the right place, at the right time. I see how beautiful the institution of marriage is. In fact, sometimes I secretly, and sometimes I tell her that if this woman was not in my life, how disorderly, how unplanned with my life, how spontaneous would my life be. So after years of adjustments, couples set into routines and shared goals. Then this phase emphasizes mutual respect, shared values, and steady companionship. You need each other. It's you against the world at this point. So the scripture for this is, the wise woman builds her house. So the responsibility is more on the woman, because the woman is the one that determines whether a house will be a home. Yeah, that's the word. It is a woman that decides by her actions and decisions if a house is going to be a home. So the wise woman builds a house, turns it into a home, but with her own hands. The foolish one tears has done. Have you seen women who, with their own hands, tear down their own house? And when you ask them, they will tell you, well, it was the man, but the onus was on the woman to keep the home front. This keeping I'm talking about involves sacrifice. This keeping I'm talking about involves patience. This keeping I'm talking about is not having a sharp mouth or trying to prove that you are right. No, it's about stepping back from all the chaos and saying, this house, this marriage, this family must work. And whatever sacrifices, whatever needs to be done, I will do it for this house to be a home. I know the enemy is trying to tear down this family, but I'm going to do everything within my power. I'll seek God's help to make sure that this house becomes a home and stays as a home. That's what I'm talking about. Phase 6 is the midlife transition phase. Okay, what's that about? Couples may experience personal or relational crises, such as career changes or empty nest syndrome. Okay, at this point, couples are in their midlife. They've spent several years together in marriage, and certain things begin to settle. Like, for example, I just turned 40, and I'm in kind of like my midlife. I'm not in a crisis, but I'm concerned. Now I found out that I have to be more intentional about my health. I'm finding out now that there are some things I cannot eat anymore. And several years I couldn't eat those things because I didn't have the means. Now that I have the means, I'm finding out my nutritionist is not, that's the one, like the first time I had to get it. As I turned 40, I got a nutritionist to tell me what to eat, what not to eat, so that I can stay healthy and fit for the assignment God has given me. And he's telling me, oh, you can't eat that, you can't, come on now, tell me I can't eat cake, you can't eat chocolate. These are things that I craved for many years. Now that I can finally afford it, you're telling me I can't eat it. So these things gives you some stress. Now I'm a tea I'm a tea lord, in the sense that I'm always taking teas up and down. Take green tea in the morning, take that tea in the afternoon, take those tea in the evening. Like my dieting is on another level. So because of this, sometimes I'm down, temporarily depressed about the fact that I can't eat the things I need to eat. I can't do the things I need to do, just so that I can be healthy and be there for my family. Those kind of things happen during this midlife transition phase. Or is it my wife that, ever since her boy came, her life just went. I just went to another level. She really has time, to do the things she wants to do the way she was doing them when we were still just couples and no child. So all of this is and then of course in the whole giving birth phase, there's been a whole lot of tension, pressure, sacrifices, you know what I'm talking about, and these things begin to set in. So it's called the midlife transition phase. So you may experience personal or relational crisis such as career changes, maybe a kid setting, and you discover that, oh, we need to leave the city and go to a place that is more kid friendly. Oh, kids are setting. I'm like, okay, fine, we need to move. We need to make changes so that we can get a career or careers that can help us afford this expanding family. All of these things happen during the freelance transition. And then the emptiness syndrome is where children grow and start going to school. Like, for example, now, even as young as my boy is, the first time we had to take him to school, my wife was somehow like, oh, so I'm not going to be with this boy. Even though the boy, anytime she was with him full time, the boy is always pressing her neck. But now that we had to take him to school, I could see how reluctant she was, how she's always calling the school, is he okay, does he need anything, yada yada. So this emptiness, not to talk of when this boy now grows and now goes to boarding school or the university, and then you're like, oh, where are my children? Emptiness. So yeah, these are realities that you need to adjust to. So focus shifts back to the marriage as children leave home, rekindling intimacy and redefining purpose. At this point now, the less focus is now on children because they've left the nest. You now bring focus back to the marriage. Companionship is now key. No matter how much you dote on your children and love them and want them around, one day they're going to grow wings and fly away to start their own family or to build their career, whichever. And it's not always a great feeling, especially for women, and some men, of course. So scripture for this is, therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate, not even your children. At this point, you need to come back together again, like your like in the days of honeymoon, because all these children have now left. It's just you two, and you have to manage and love yourself and be there for each other and offer succor to each other at this stage. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then phase 7 is the renewal phase. So what happens in the renewal phase? Well, couples rediscover each other and focus on companionship, shared hobbies, and new adventures. So it's like the circle is starting again, where they're going back to honeymoon, but it's not honeymoon now. It's like a renewal phase, a mature kind of honeymoon. Now it's not it's romance, but on a mature level. So now we want to, like, okay, now that we have spent so much time building this family, now that the children have left the nest, what should we do with our life? Okay, can we travel around the world? can we go to places that we dreamt of going to in our initial stages or phases in marriage that we could not because of responsibilities, or we didn't have the means? Now we have the means. Now we have fewer responsibilities. Can we go on a global wide adventure? So couples should discover each other. They discover themselves, their interests, their shared visions, and they pursue them. Okay. and they can even start new adventures. Okay, why don't we just travel around the world? So this phase often brings a deeper spiritual connection and appreciation for the journey together. So this time now, you spend several years together, you can look back at the journey, you can appreciate God, you can appreciate each other, you can see how far you have come, how many battles you have fought and won together, all the scars here and there. You reminisce on all the challenges and how you surmounted them, and those that are still lingering, that you're still battling with. It's a renewal phase. It's beautiful, and it's not like the honeymoon phase. Honeymoon phase, no experience. Renewal phase, loads of experience that makes you. And what is inside that renewal phase, there's a lot of, you look back on all the sacrifices made. You have learned to live and accept each other's faults. You've been able to understand what is the best role for this man, what is the best role for this woman, all those things, more matured, not so lovey-dovey like the honeymoon phase. So the scripture for this is they are like trees planted along the river bank, bearing fruit each season. So at this point now, you are well planted in the marriage. You still have challenges, but you are better equipped to handle them, and it's just, a beautiful thing for couples. Phase 8, we have the legacy phase, and that's the final phase of the marriage institution. So what's the legacy phase? So couples reflect on their lives together, enjoying the fruits of their labor and relationships with extended family. So at this point now, you're looking outward. You're like, okay, fine, my extended family, how are they doing in their families as well, in their own marriages as well? You extend a hand. Apart from that, you also like, okay, let's build a legacy. How is everybody doing? How can we make life better for each person? So they reflect. At this point, we reflect on our lives together. We enjoy the fruits of our labor. Children are in school. Children are graduating, children are getting married, children are starting their family together, and they call you at different points to attend these celebrations, and there's this sense of fulfillment that, oh, we did this, we did it. Even though you look back on the sacrifices, on the challenges, on the super responsibilities over several years, you feel fulfilled that it eventually panned out, it eventually became a successful thing. Okay, and that's beautiful. Okay, then they focus on leaving a lasting impact through their faith, values, and wisdom. At this point, at the legacy phase, you are thinking about lasting impact. How can we leave a lasting impact as a family, to our children? How can we pass on the legacy to our children? How can we prepare them for this legacy? How can we pass on the legacy we have built together to the community? How can we pass it on to the nation, even globally, depending on your level of faith, and then the extent of the dimension of your purpose, your divine assignment. So they focus on leaving a lasting impact through their faith, and then through the things they value, and then of course wisdom. They have a lot they have learned, and then they can mentor younger couples using themselves as an example. Scripture for this is, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So at this point, having spent several years, experienced so many things, made mistakes, learned from your mistakes, you now can mentor younger couples, mentor other families. People look up to you, that how did you get to the legacy phase? And then you share your stories, you share your insights, and then you are able to impact your generation by so doing. And that's about it. Then we have come to the end of the God-centered marriage, this module 541, if I'm correct. And I hope you enjoyed your time with me on this session. So there's no attendance form to sign. What we do now is there's a live session every Sunday, and this live session you have to attend. Bring your questions, bring your concerns, whatever you want to share with us, come, and then we'll be there to respond to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is what this is all about. So, and then when you come, we ask you to drop your name in the chat box, and we'll capture that for those who attended for that live session. And according to the rule, if we have 8 live sessions, for example, you must attend 50% of them. So you must attend at least 4 sessions out of 8 for you to qualify to get a certificate of completion. There's also an exam. This exam, 100 questions, you have to score 60, which is the pass mark, so that the 60 pass mark plus the 50% attendance plus a few other tasks we ask you to do we qualify you for the certificate. And the certificate comes with a verified link right on the certificate that anyone can click, including yourself, and you can go to the back end and see the list of all the people who graduated from the school. Okay, so you can go to a business center and create one. So questions, drop your questions in the comments. Someone from my team will select the questions to be addressed first during our Sunday live Q&A sessions. Okay, I think that's about it. So thank you so much for your time. We have come to the end of GMS 541, the God-centered marriage. Please put to practice everything you have learned here. Share this video to someone. Share this video to a couple, either intending couple or someone in a marriage that needs to see this. There's no how put together a marriage is that they don't still need to see this and learn a thing or two. So do that for yourself, for your friends, for your family, for your colleagues at work or colleagues at school, so that they are prepared for the different phases in the marriage institution. Thank you so much for your time. And then the formula: hot, 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 cold, cold, hot, cold, cold. All of those things are things for intending couples to analyze and make sure that if you identify yourself as one, whether HH, and then you see that the person you want to marry is a CH, try to look at the dynamics and see whether will this work for you, because these are the disadvantages, these are the advantages. Will it work for you? If it works for you, then go for it. Of course, that's after you've checked with the very author of marriage, who is God himself. So that's something I wanted to put in there as a last word on this module. And then of course, please subscribe to this channel. Please invite people to come in and subscribe to and be part of this channel and what we are trying to achieve for Nigeria, and by extension Africa. And then also please like this if you enjoyed this whole module. Like this video, share it to friends and family, come to the comment section and drop your comments, and then of course subscribe and get others to do the same. Thank you so much for your time. It's been me, your instructor, Gbenga Richmond, and I enjoyed my time teaching you this and blessing you and impacting you, for generations to come. Thank you so much. Bye bye for now.